Okay, morning folks. Welcome to the briefing on Saturday the 18th. All right, well, I left the overnight chart on there just to show the progress of the frontal systems, or lack of progress on the frontal systems out to the west of us. It's low pressure, slowly developing here. You can start to see the kink in this line of the front. That's the sort of development of a low beginning, really. And over the course of 12 hours, yes, the low develops, but these two fronts don't actually move towards us. You'll see a little bit later how there's rain on them, but not a great deal. We're drawing in a southeasterly flow, and it's very light spacings on the isobars. But as I say, it's low pressure. The pressure's down at 1,012, 14. So the air is a little bit unstable. So chance of just outside chance of a shower. The TAFs, look out the window, pretty much show what you've got, 133 knots, so very light southeasterly. At the moment, yeah, it's probably 4,000 meters viz. There's upper cloud scattered, but becoming this morning 10k viz, no significant weather. And it says here prob 30 between sort of 1 and 4, 7,000 meters showers and rain. I think we'd be really unlucky to catch a shower. There might be the odd isolated shower in the southeast of England, but odd, I think, would be the word to use. Very little chance of seeing one. So it should be quite a nice day for most of the day. Upper winds, southerly, southeasterly. I think coming across here with anywhere between 140 and 170, but not strong. 10 to 15 knots in the channel. 5 to 10 knots over us, so fairly light. Sat pic shows things burning off quite rapidly here. You can see it's thinning steadily, and that'll be the case this morning as the sun gets up, burns it all off. Fingers crossed it won't mist over again, like it's done on 1 or 2 of the days this week, but hopefully sun should get through and it'll be quite pleasant. You can see the rain attached to the cloud that's out to the west, more thicker cloud. There's not much of it really, and just perhaps an odd isolated shower drifts up here somewhere. I think it'd be very unlucky. Temperature wise, similar to yesterday. I think 20 degrees in here, maybe 21. It's a sort of warm wind direction. It's coming up from the south, so it's carrying some heat in it anyway. And dew points, it's still fairly high, certainly high out to the west of us where the rain is. I think dew points out here, 13s, 14s, 15s at the moment. 12, 13 around here, and it's going to stay around there. And the soundings for us and further south of us, they don't look good, to be honest. I think a little bit like yesterday. The air is unstable, so there's a chance of soaring, but not really very structured sounding. If you put in 20 degrees in there, 2,500 feet, I think at best. But you've got to factor in the southerly wind, keeping the temperature down slightly. And the soaring here is never very good in a direct southerly. Top meteo showing sort of it breaking up the cloud clearing. That's 10 o'clock, 11, 12. Cumulus to the north of us. I think it's showing sea air coming in here. I think it'll have a big effect, the sea air coming across us. And they're not particularly showing the thermals going very high, certainly by 12 o'clock. 2 to 2,500 feet. So yeah, anywhere between sort of 700 meters and 1,000 meters, so 2,500 feet-ish, maybe even 3,000 above sea level, which is about what it was yesterday. And as the afternoon wears on, I think the sea air will come in and have a bit of an effect on us. So as you can imagine, they're not suggesting a great cross-country distance. out to the north. I think I've seen this picture before. It's short cross countries for the experienced. So not a fantastic picture, unfortunately, but flyable all day. It should be pleasant and warm. Okay, so airspace wise, a little bit busy. Let's run through the numbers here. So number 4 down here on the Isle of Wight is restricted airspace for the Isle of Wight Festival. 5 is Southampton's hours of operation. 6 and 7, Goodwood Revival. They're just showing that the air traffic control down at Goodwood has extended its hours. I think it's from 8 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night. And from 6 o'clock tonight, there's an air show or an air display down there. 10 is gliding and middle wallop. 13 clay pigeon shoot, and 16 is just saying that there's no danger area crossing service. The important one, if anybody goes off in a powered aeroplane or tucks themselves up under the airspace here, number 24 is restricted airspace to 2,500 feet over Chequers from 3 o'clock this afternoon till midnight. And the rest of these are just minor events, but nothing particularly to worry about. So just be aware that over the last couple of days with the revival, we've seen a lot of traffic transiting north-south, particularly helicopters, and they just tend to skim across the western end of the airfield, generally at about 2,000 feet. So keep a good lookout, folks. Be aware that there's lots of traffic transiting. Operationally, fortunately, the jet movement that was planned for today is actually done yesterday, so nothing in the way of jet movements. We'll be operating on 09 with the winch offset to the south, fairly normal setup, and I think it's clearing quite readily. The motor glider's been flying, so I suggest we start unpacking the hangar and get all the K21s and I think a K13 or 2 to the launch point and the single seaters that are booked. Right, we'll see you out there. We'll set up fairly shortly.